Your check engine light comes on, you scan the vehicle, and the code P0172 appears. System too rich, bank 1. At first, this sounds simple. Too much fuel, right? But P0172 is one of the most misunderstood trouble codes, and it often leads people to replace parts that are not actually faulty. P0172 means the engine control module has detected that the air-fuel mixture on bank 1 is consistently richer than expected. In simple terms, the engine is receiving more fuel than it should, or not enough air, based on the computer's calculations. The important thing to understand is this. P0172 is not a fuel injector code. It is not automatically a bad oxygen sensor. And it is definitely not a replace parts and hope situation. Modern engines calculate fuel delivery using multiple sensor inputs. If even one of those inputs is incorrect, the fuel mixture can become rich without any mechanical failure. One of the most common causes of P0172 is a contaminated or faulty mass airflow sensor. If the MF sensor underreports incoming air, the engine computer believes less air is entering the engine. To compensate, it adds more fuel. Over time, fuel trims reach their limit, and the system sets a P0172 code. Another frequent cause is incorrect oxygen sensor feedback. If the oxygen sensor is slow, biased, or stuck reporting lean conditions, the computer continues to add fuel. Eventually, the system realizes that fuel trims are maxed out in the negative direction and flags a rich condition. Fuel pressure problems are another major contributor. Excessive fuel pressure caused by a failing regulator, restricted return line, or incorrect aftermarket components can push more fuel through the injectors than commanded. The injectors themselves may be working perfectly, but the pressure behind them is too high. Engine coolant temperature data is often overlooked. If the engine control module believes the engine is colder than it actually is, it will command a richer mixture. A faulty coolant temperature sensor or wiring issue can quietly cause a rich condition without obvious symptoms. Short trip driving can also contribute to P0172. During cold starts, engines run richer. If the vehicle is constantly driven short distances, the system may never fully stabilize fuel trims. Over time, this can result in a persistent rich condition. The evaporative emission system plays a role as well. A purge valve stuck open can allow fuel vapor to enter the intake at the wrong time. This unmetered fuel can confuse the fuel control strategy and lead to negative fuel trims. Live data is critical when diagnosing P0172. You should always look at short-term and long-term fuel trims. If fuel trims are heavily negative, the computer is actively removing fuel to compensate for a rich condition. Comparing bank 1 to bank 2 is extremely helpful. If only one bank is affected, the problem is likely localized. If both banks are rich, the issue is usually something shared, such as the mass airflow sensor, fuel pressure, or engine temperature input. Another mistake people make is replacing oxygen sensors too quickly. Oxygen sensors often get blamed because they report the condition, not because they cause it. Replacing them without verifying sensor accuracy and response time often leads to wasted money. A proper diagnostic approach always follows the same steps. Verify the code. Check fuel trims. Inspect live data. Confirm sensor readings against reality. Only then should you consider replacing components. P0172 is not telling you to replace parts. It is telling you that the fuel control strategy is no longer balanced. When diagnosed correctly, the fix is often simpler than expected. Always diagnose first, understand the system, and fix the root cause. Taking the time to test properly saves money and prevents unnecessary repairs. Before replacing parts, check our channel for more diagnostic tips and real-world fixes. Fix Car Codes helps you understand the problem before you spend your money.